Tonight, we welcome the consensus best two field hockey players in the Atlantic East Conference, Beyond the Arch. Both of our guests have enjoyed incredibly successful tenures on the field hockey team. One of our guests is Lindsey Quinn. Lindsey is a senior health and physical education major from GAR Memorial High School in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. In her freshman season, she set a solid foundation, starting 17 games and being named an honorable mention All-CSAC. From there, she has improved upon that year's performance each season. Her sophomore year saw her be named second team All-CSAC. After Marywood switched conferences her junior year, Quinn was named first team All-Atlantic East and second team All-ECAC. This season, she was named the Atlantic East Player of the Year and the Atlantic East Tournament Most Valuable Player. Our second guest is Kenzie Drew. Kenzie is a senior nursing major from Greenwood High School in Liverpool, Pennsylvania. Much like Lindsey, Kenzie had a strong start at Marywood and only improved thereafter. She was named second team All-CSAC in her freshman season. In her sophomore season, she was named first team All-CSAC and second team All-ECAC. She followed that up with more first team All-Conference recognition. This time, she was named first team All-Atlantic East to go along with her second consecutive selection to the second team All-ECAC. She was also named team MVP her junior season. This season, she was named the Atlantic East Defensive Player of the Year and recognized on a national weekly honor roll. Both served as team captains this season en route to the field hockey team's first ever berth in the NCAA tournament. Before I sit down with them, I get head coach Julie Trott's thoughts on this team's record-breaking season next.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
So who's going to do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice. And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
We couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Welcome back to the show. We're here in Marywood-University's Hall of Fame room, and I am sitting down with head field hockey coach Julie Trott. Coach Trott, thank you very much for sitting down with me.
Thank you for having me.
Well, we want to congratulate you first of all, and on just a record-breaking season. There's no other way to say it.
Thank you.
So you were just named head coach in January, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so then, I mean, I imagine you couldn't have envisioned your first year going any better than it had, so.
It definitely, I mean, a season like this isn't necessarily expected, but I always knew that we had the potential to be that successful. But yeah, definitely as a first-year head coach, I expected us to have success, but you don't expect a 14-game winning streak and everything like that. But I'm just so proud of them for everything that they did this year.
Was there ever a point in the season where you allowed yourself to kind of take a step back and realize everything that you were doing, or did you kind of just? I asked the girls the same question, but was there ever a time when you kind of allowed yourself to take it all in?
So we had a pretty rough travel schedule to start the season. We were away either our first 6 or 7 games. So I feel like one of the big turning points for our season was the night before we played the University of Scranton. And, we came together as a team, and, I feel like I'm always going to remember that practice with the energy and the commitment that the girls had. But after we beat Scranton and I saw the level of commitment from the team, like from top to bottom, I said to them, you can win every single game on the rest of your schedule. And once we started getting into, we had a 4-game winning streak, 6-game winning streak, and then we started having big conference wins. I feel like it just got crazier and crazier. And I did try to take time to step back and really reflect during the season, but it just was, we were taking it one quarter at a time, one game at a time. Literally every step of the way was win this quarter. If you win all 4 quarters, you should win the game. So.
Well, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but I said this on the interview with the girls too. I'm a sports anchor for the news station too, so it's kind of like every week. That was my lead story. We're at 9 wins, now we're at 10. Now we're, it just kept compounding every week. Was there any added pressure that went into that for you, or? Oh yeah, I think, and I put a lot of pressure on myself. I'm an alumni of Marywood in the field hockey program, and this was my 6th season with the team. I was an assistant for the past 5 seasons, and then this being my first year as head coach, I do put some pressure on myself. But we talked a lot about that as a team also, that pressure is a privilege, and they were doing things that nobody in Marywood field hockey had done before, but that they should really enjoy the time as well. So we did actually talk a lot about the pressure as a team, and the team really learned how to rise above it and use it as motivation rather than a way to crumble under the pressure.
So why this team this year, do you think? I mean, out of all, you've been here for a long time now. I mean, I'm sure ups and downs over the course of 6 years, but why this group this year? And under your leadership, why this year?
This team is incredibly special because we have 10 seniors, and that's pretty unheard of at the college level. A lot of times, if you look at rosters of whatever sport it is, typically there's heavier numbers in the lower classmen, and as you get up in the years, people will leave for whether that's academic reasons or playing time, things like that. Typically, you don't have 10 seniors, and all 10 seniors contributed this year. So that, I think, in itself is what made this year so special, was the leadership that we had. We only, I believe, lost 2 starters from the year before, so we pretty much returned a very experienced team, and they wanted it. I've never been around a team that has wanted to win as bad as this group, so I'm always going to remember this group.
First year too, so it's quite
it's
a perfect storm, really.
Yeah.
But now, so we'll hear from Kenzie and Lindsey both later about what they thought about the year. But the one thing they said you preached a lot was, "We're not tired."
Yeah.
So
yep.
how much of your focus was on conditioning? Because that was one thing that they said really they felt separated the team from everybody else.
Yeah, we focused a lot on our fitness, and I have to hand it to the team. After the spring season, we've partnered with Volt Athletics. It's a strength and conditioning program, and we do our running and our lifting and everything. And we said to them, ladies, come back to preseason fit so that we can focus on field hockey and not focus on getting in shape for the first 2 weeks. So, I mean, Lindsey Quinn pretty much won every fitness test that we had, but she wasn't the only one. From, like I said, from top to bottom, the majority of the team came back in phenomenal shape, so we could focus on strategy and skill. But once we really got into a groove, at least once a week, we did only conditioning at one of our practices. I know that the team didn't love those, and they tended to be on Thursday nights. But we focused a lot on doing, jog sprints and things that were game-like. And I remember, I think it was at Gwen and Mercy, we were up 1-0 going into the 4th quarter, and the quarters are only 15 minutes. And I just remember looking at the girls and saying, you can do anything for 15 minutes. Think about all the fitness things that you guys have done for longer than 15 minutes. And I mean, I think 90% of our game is mental. So we did always, you know, the coaching staff, we would look at them at certain points in the game and be like, you're not tired. You are not tired. When the final whistle blew, we would joke and say, oh my gosh, we're exhausted. But it was, we really tried to motivate them to rise above the physical aspect of the game and to be really mentally strong.
Might never matter.
Yeah.
Well, obviously it paid off, the conditioning, with the results. Now, from an X's and O's perspective, because we kind of got the girls' perspective on, you know, how I guess the execution of it and that side of things. But so you were speaking about strategy a little before. What was your main? Did you have a main focus for the season? Was there a main strategy you used? Was it, you know, attacking versus defensive? Was there anything that you focused on X's and O's wise?
We have always been a very strong defensive team, and that is phenomenal. You know, that's great. At the end of the day, if you let in less goals than the other team, you know, you win. But we also wanted to take the approach that if you score more goals than the other team, you win. So I'm very fortunate to have very strong assistant coaches. Caitlin Bevins and Tori Jo Kakujian have been with this program since I've been here as well, and they were phenomenal defenders in college. So I'm able to say, okay, I'm going to take the attackers and do goal scoring for the next half hour. You take the defenders and do specific defensive strategy drills and that kind of stuff. We did focus a lot on a strategy of being fitter than the other team, and we did a lot of focusing on passing and possession. So, I mean, I know that sometimes practice, we may have done the same thing for a decent amount of time, but we wanted to do it until we got it right.
Now, the NCAA experience, that must have been pretty...
It was phenomenal.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, I asked them the same question, but what is that like? Is the preparation different for you? Did you try to treat it like every other game, or do you realize the kind of gravity of the situation a little bit going into it?
So this was my first time as, you know, I had never experienced that as a player or as a coach. So, you know, it was definitely a new and interesting experience for me. And I shared that with the team and said, you know, we're in this together. This is our first time doing this. And all the advice that I got from, you know, mentors in the field hockey community was to enjoy it. And we did treat it like any other game when it came to our, you know, watching film and practice. But, you know, the added fun of, you know, hey, we have the official NCAA practice tonight where we can only be on the turf for an hour. And afterwards, you know, we took a picture with the NCAA Division III field hockey banner. And, you know, that whole experience is a lot of fun for the team. The administrative side was definitely way different than any other game that I had ever prepared for. But, you know, the X's and O's part of it, we just said, listen, you're playing another team instead of jerseys, and let's go out there and try to win 4 quarters and move on.
So, I mean, it was a very valiant effort, too, I think. I remember the stats, I think it was 21-3. They had a shots advantage.
Insane.
So, to keep it to 1-0, that's a testament to your defense in itself, to the fight of the team. So, I mean, obviously, overview of the season, you must be thrilled.
Yes.
Do you have any final thoughts on the season as a whole?
So now that the season, everything is starting to really calm down, you know, I've had time to kind of reflect. And, you know, when we did lose against FDU and the NCAAs, you know, we said to the team, ladies, you haven't lost in almost 2 months. You don't know how this feels. As an alumni, I thanked them for everything they did for the program and for setting the tone for the future. But, you know, thinking back on the season, it shows the importance of determination and grit. And we talked a lot about trusting each other, believing in each other, and being great teammates. You know, we really focused on the positivity side of our team and keeping that a constant. When things are hard, it's okay to realize that things are hard, but you have to have the optimism and positivity to understand, okay, if I work hard though, things should get better. So we really tried to focus on that. And I think if there's one word to describe the season for me, it's just, I'm proud. I'm so proud of them. And, you know, I will remember the season for the rest of my life.
Just a couple final questions then.
Sure.
So now, Kenzie and Lindsey were honored as Kenzie Defensive Player of the Year, Lindsey Player of the Year, but also not to be forgotten, Coaching Staff of the Year as well. So what does that mean to you?
It's an honor to be recognized by the other coaches in the conference, because the coaching staff of the year is voted on by the coaches. So it really is. It's an honor to be recognized by them, and it's a nice feeling because our coaching staff, and I'm glad that it's coaching staff, because I mean my assistant coaches are phenomenal. They're part-time and volunteer. They really are. I couldn't do this without them. So I'm very honored to receive that award. And as for the major awards with Lindsey and Kenzie, about halfway through the season, Coach Kate, our assistant coach, and I sat down and said, when the time comes, we're putting these two up for these major awards, because they were just lights out this year. Phenomenal.
And then a last question. So going forward, we talked about 10 seniors this year.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to.
I feel like I've gotten this question a lot the last few weeks.
Put a pall over anything, but obviously it was a great season. But what does the future look like, maybe for you personally,
Sure.
and then for Marywood field hockey? How do we follow up this tremendous season?
So I think that what we really are going to be preaching to the team is that every season is different. And we said that to them at the beginning of the season, at our preseason meeting in this room, that every season is different. However, culture stays the same, even when there are different people in positions. I am incredibly confident in our underclassmen and the people who are returning. Thankfully, we are returning our two top goal scorers besides Lindsey Quinn. We'll have Jenna Dickey and Angela Sanchez back next year. Jenna is going to be a grad student, and thankfully she has another year of eligibility.
There you go.
Thankfully. And Angela Sanchez will be a senior for us. We're returning some key defenders and midfielders in Heather Forbes, Sophia Caesar. And then we have a core group of underclassmen that I think learned a tremendous amount from this upperclassmen group, that I think are ready to move into a different role on the team, whereas this year was a really big learning experience for them. I think that next year they'll be able to see some of their hard work come to fruition. We do already have 4 incoming freshmen committed, including a goalie, because we will be losing four-time all-conference goalkeeper Carrie Mounts. But I anticipate bringing in at least 4 more, so I'd like to have at least 8 freshmen on the team next year. And then as for me personally, I look forward to the new challenges ahead. And I think that, again, like I tell the team, every season's different, and I have to tell myself that. And I'm excited for what every season is going to bring, the good, the bad, the new. That's how it goes. And I'm confident in next season, and I think that we have the skill and the commitment to do well.
Well, thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you.
Congratulations on a
thank
great
you so
season.
much.
And next, we're going to have Lindsey and Kenzie take us through their take on the incredible season that was. Stick around.
This is the story of a boy who was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to the show. I am pleased to be joined by Lindsey Quinn and Kenzie Drew. Lindsey, Kenzie, thank you very much for being on the show this evening.
Thanks for having us.
Well, I was telling you guys before, I talked to your coach, and she said, we have 5 captains, who do you want? I said, well, let's make it easy. We'll have both the players of the year on here. So we're really happy to have such high-profile guests on for sure. But first of all, congratulations on the season. That's obviously unprecedented. So that's was really a cool thing for everybody. Cool thing for me as a Marywood Pacer. Yeah. So yeah, awesome. But before we get into the on-the-field stuff, of course, we want to know you guys off the field as well. So how did either of you guys find your way to Marywood? And whoever wants to go first.
I mean, I'm a local. I'm from Wilkes-Barre. I went to GAR, and I actually was recruited by Coach Julie my senior year of high school. So that's kind of how I found out about Marywood. I came for a campus tour and kind of just fell in love with the atmosphere and got to meet some of the players. Took an overnight visit and just fell in love with the community.
Awesome.
Mine's kind of like a different story. I was like head set on going to IUP. I wasn't playing field hockey. I was not interested. And then I had a senior districts game, and Julie actually came to watch another player, and she was like, I want to talk to like me. And I was like, no, like I'm not interested. I don't want to play. My coach was like, just like give it a chance. And so I was like, okay, I'll just talk to her. And she was like so sweet. I was like, all right, I'll try, see if I like Marywood. So I came for a visit, and then I came for an overnight, and that's when I was like done with field hockey for high school, and I was like, well, actually I feel like I'll miss it. So I was like, I fell in love with the campus. I loved the school, and I loved the teammates that I was going to be having, and Julie like just was so like easy to communicate with that I just decided I wanted field hockey in my life for college.
Well, awesome. I mean, that's it's interesting to hear the differences in the 2 stories. I mean, I'm from Mid-Valley, so I'm local as well. Yeah.
Nice.
Does GR still have a field hockey team now, or did they combine with the Wilkes-Barre?
Yes, the sports are combined.
Cool. I mean, field hockey just not like I feel like it's a shame, but we don't even know who really has a field hockey team in the area. So I mean, what schools did you play in the area? Like, who was like your main competitors?
Our main competitors would be Myers, our rival. We played. We did not play Coughlin.
Right.
We played Berwick, Abington one year. Trying to think. So long ago, 4 years ago.
I know it's a long. Believe me, I know. I'm thinking about it too.
Surprised me with this one.
Well, that's okay. We have enough.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. Because believe me, 4 years ago. I mean, I'm graduating in December. I'm thinking it feels like forever ago.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's been 4 years. It's
so probably
I feel like
flies by.
crazy.
I mean, no, it feels like just yesterday. I was coming here for the first day, so it does really fly. But now, interesting. You say you're ready to give up field hockey. What led to that decision, and why the quick reversal on it? Do you think?
I come from a school that's very good at field hockey. It's I go to Miller's or Greenwood, and it's just a little farm town near Harrisburg. And I have a lot of girls that I graduated with that were D1 commits, like really good girls. And I was like, I'm not at their level. Like, I'm just interested in going for nursing. And I've heard a lot of like, you can't do both. Like, if you're doing nursing, you got to do nursing. You can't do a sport. You can't do really anything else but that major. But they really talked it into me that I would be able, definitely like the first 2 years, to play my sport and also keep up my grades in my major. And just like hearing that it was possible and like hearing like that they wanted me to play, that they saw me as a part of their team already, that I think that definitely helps with the reversal.
How has the level of competition been for you? I mean, coming from a successful high school program into this, how much of a step up was it for you? Was it a big one? Or?
Well, I played on grass in high school, so playing on turf now 100%. That's definitely a step up. It's definitely much faster, and we definitely are. It's more elite than high school, just because these are all people that played for at least 4 years of their life and like have the skills, have the abilities. Because some schools in high school, this is their first year, couple years like starting. So in my conference in high school, there was some pretty bad teams, but like here at Marywood, there's a lot of the teams that we play are all like our level, so it's definitely a quicker game. It definitely got faster.
Great. So Lindsey, you are a health physical education major,
Yes.
right? Okay, I just make sure, but that's what the website said. I just want to make sure it's correct.
Yep.
So take me through that. What is that like with
So right
here at
now
Marywood?
I'm a senior, so usually last year I went through some field observations. So I went to Pittston Middle School. I've been to Wyoming Valley West, Wyoming area, and at Wyoming area is actually how I got my coaching position that I'm at right now.
Oh, interesting.
I coach 8th grade girls basketball.
Oh, cool.
And at Wyoming area, actually, for health, I was in the health classroom for about 4 hours a day, which I worked with also the athletic director. So that's kind of my forte right now. I really am interested in athletic directing one day.
Wow, cool.
Yeah. So getting out there, field experience is big for health and physical education, and also having the coaching background helps me to get into that field.
Is basketball also a passion, or?
Yes, I played in high school.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, what made was field hockey just you felt as though that was the way to go, or was that ever a decision, or?
Actually, I only started field hockey in 7th grade.
Oh wow.
But I played field hockey, basketball, and softball throughout high school, and field hockey is the first sport fall. And when Julie came and recruited us, I kind of just fell in love with the school, and I was like, I got to make a decision at some point. And when it came around, I was like, I'm going to Marywood. I'm playing field hockey.
There you go.
Yeah.
So Kenzie, now nursing, obviously probably a very involved major. I mean, I have a few, I know a few people who went for nursing. I see all the, late night things that, it's all the just determination it takes, I guess, to get through that major. So what's that like, balancing that with your athletic life?
It's definitely a lot of nights that I don't get as much sleep as I want.
Sure.
But field hockey definitely helps me because I know that I have to cut out like 3 hours a day or 4 hours a day if we have a game solely for field hockey. So that only leaves my time for classes and then maybe a couple hours for studying. So I kind of have my time blocked out. I know how to manage it better because of field hockey. And our teachers and our coaches are both are so helpful. Like if I have to miss a clinical or class because of field hockey, they understand, and vice versa. If I can't make it to a practice and it's not before a game, they're gonna be totally understanding that school comes first.
All right, we got one more question before we're gonna go to a break, and then we're gonna come back and talk all about what everybody wants to, I'm sure, is eager to talk about, the big NCAA run. But so, I guess this is an interesting question. How does your personality or your hobbies or whatever off the field, translate to what you do on the field or the way you play on the field? Do you think there's a correlation there?
I think so, a little bit. I mean, we play on the same side, so I would say we're really good friends off the field, and so we play really well on the field.
Definitely,
and I think people definitely see that we just connect.
Yes.
Sometimes we don't even have to talk. We just know where
I
we
know
are.
where she's going. She knows where I'm
Yeah,
going.
we just know each other's moves.
Yeah.
I'm we're both more silly, off the field, kind of the giggly personalities.
A little laid back.
Yeah, and so I don't say I play like that. I feel like I get really serious once I get on the field. But definitely team aspect wise, we're so close, we're such a family, and I think that really makes us different from the teams that we play, because we come together to play the sport, but then we're still together 24/7. We don't want any time away from each other when we're not playing.
There you go. You got to know to turn it on and turn it off. So
Yeah.
there you have it. And stick around, because we're going to get an insider perspective on the team's big run of success this season. So stick around.
Alvin and the Chipmunks want to remind you, bacteria can hide in food and make you ill.
Wow.
But you can keep bacteria from ruining your day with 4 simple steps. Clean.
I'm waiting for the rinse cycle.
Separate. Cook.
Fire in the hole!
And chill.
We chipmunks are notoriously tidy.
Check your steps. The road trip to food safety starts at foodsafety.gov.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it,
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got, or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, babe.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
So who's going to do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice. And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
We couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent. We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness. I am a witness. I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
Welcome back to VTA as our conversation with Lindsey and Kenzie continues. All right, so we just left off, we're talking about your personal lives, but I know we're all eager to hear about the record-setting season. I mean, I know I'm the sports anchor here too, so I mean, writing the readers every week. It was every week my lead story was, field hockey is continuing this incredible winning streak, which reached, what was it, 16 games at its peak, I think?
I think, yeah, 14? Yeah, I think.
14? Okay.
Yeah,
well,
I think we had 16 overall.
Yes.
Okay, you're 16 overall. You're right. Yeah, 16-4 in the 14-game winning streak. So that's a school record and making it to the first NCAA tournament in school history. So, I mean, what was it like to be a part of this team that just topples, school record after school record?
I think coming in, just like our mindset, like especially our seniors, like just wanting it. Like we came in this year, like this is going to be our year. This is going to be our time. And ever since then, like we knew it was coming. And going into it, I think like, yes, everybody has nerves and everybody's going to be nervous. But like we were there and we were ready to go. And I think like just our overall intensity kind of led us through that.
Yeah. I just think that we knew about like the records we were breaking and our streak and stuff, but like it was just like another game. Like we had to beat Cabrini. Like that was our game today. And then once we beat them, it's on to the next component. And we kind of just took one game at a time, knowing that like this is what we wanted to do and this is what we were accomplishing, and we were going for it.
So going off of that, do you think about the fact that like do you take a second to think like what we're doing here is actually pretty special? Is there any time for that, or do you try not to just like whatever, like it's not done yet? Like how do you look at it?
I look at it a little bit, but like that definitely makes me nervous because I'm like, I don't want to lose our streak or like not get an NCAA bid. Like I kind of don't let myself think about it because I know it'll bring my nerves. But like it's cool. Like everyone was starting to hear about us. Like random people. Like we went to Cup of Cake the one day before a game, and they were like, "You guys are having such an awesome season!" Cool. Like just because we were wearing Marywood field hockey. Like
local
it's
celebrities.
cool that people were like noticing us.
I mean, like I said, every week lead story on the news. It was. And when you have a streak going, it kind of the whole community, I think, kind of just comes together because they want to see if it's going to continue or what's going to happen. So that was definitely really cool. Why did this team, this year have the success that it had? I mean, there's been recent successes, but why this kind of a success with this team? What made this team different than every other team?
We had nine returners, 9 returning starters. Carrie, our goalie, she...
Former BTA guest.
Yeah, she is a tank. Someone called her, what do they call her? Like a dancing ninja or something.
Oh, wow.
Like she's just crazy back there. And like our defense, it's just everything. Like we tried a new formation this year, which allowed us to move as a team. So if we were on offense, our defense was up. And if we were on defense, then our offense had to get back. So we were definitely in like really, really good shape this year compared to past years, which definitely helped us like up our game.
Alvin and the Chipmunks want to remind you, bacteria can hide in food and make you ill.
Wow.
But you can keep bacteria from ruining your day with 4 simple steps. Clean.
I'm waiting for the rinse cycle.
Separate. Cook. And chill.
We chipmunks are notoriously tidy.
Check your steps. The road trip to food safety starts at foodsafety.gov.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, babe.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
So who's going to do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice. And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
We couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent. We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness. I am a witness. I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
I'd like to thank Lindsey and Kenzie for coming on the show tonight. I'd also like to thank Coach Trott for sitting down with me. We'd like to wish all 3 success in their future here at Marywood and beyond. Tune into the next few episodes of BTA as we wind down our 5th season. Until then, head over and subscribe to TVM's official YouTube page to watch full episodes of the show. Be sure to follow TV-Marywood on Twitter and Instagram, and like us on Facebook. Until next time, always remember to look past the jersey and beyond the arch. From everyone at TV-Marywood, have a great night.